Hello and welcome. Today I'm looking at Hero GP, the latest game of the month for the Evercade. Hero GP is a scalar racer developed by Rocket Ship Park and published by Thalamus Digital. And it's developed for the Game Boy Color. So straight off the bat, I think for the Game Boy Color, this game is fast moving and scrolls well. I think it's maybe something of a technical achievement. Although I didn't really play on the Game Boy Color back in the day, maybe there were racing games on par with this in terms of speed and scrolling. I really don't know. Most of the Game Boy Color stuff I've played has been on the Evercade. Anyway, this game is clearly in the mould of Hang On or Super Hang On. But hang on a minute, doesn't Hang On have some really cool music and this game doesn't? Well, yeah, that's something that really seems to be missing from this game. It needs some in-game music. But hang on a minute, Game Boy Color games and their music tend to sound like ass. Unless you're a fan of that, but I always find they're quite harsh and not the most pleasant on the ears. So yeah, maybe I'm not missing anything, the fact there isn't any music. Anyway, the gameplay couldn't be more simple. Press a button to accelerate, left and right to lean your bike left or right, release, accelerate to ease up on the gas, and yeah, finish the race. And try not to crash into things because, well, that costs you time and stops you dead and gets an annoying sound effect. Oh god, this really sounds like I'm not being very pleasant to this game, doesn't it? And no, it's absolutely fine. It's, as I said, I think it's technically quite impressive for the Game Boy Color. It moves well, and it's something I had seen around before, and I wondered if it would make it to the Game of the Month and the next Indie Heroes collection. And given that there's been a distinct lack of any form of racing games on the Indie Heroes collections, I'm glad to see it. Is it amazing? Well, it's no Top Racer or Outrun or Hang On. Yeah, there's many better games in this genre. And we have some better ones on the Evercade. But it is the best indie racing game we've got, as far as I can tell, because I can't think of any others that we have on the Evercade. And it's also a nice change of pace from things like, your platformy or shootery type games that we've got on Game of the Month so far this year. Yeah, I'm sure some people will be really excited we've got an indie racing game, others will be indifferent, and others will be... I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to think of things to say about this game. But it is very basic as far as racing goes. There is a bit of fun to be had with it. You win a race, you come in the top 3 and you unlock the next race and so on and so forth. And it is absolutely fine. I've been enjoying it well enough. But much like the other games by Rocket Ship Park, which are Starseed and Block Dropping, that are on the previous Indie Heroes collection, it does what it does well, but it's not aiming for the stars. It's good, but it's not exceptional. But I say this, I probably sound really ungrateful because it's a free game of the month thing, and when it comes to the cartridge release in what would probably be February of 2027, well, it'll be one of sort of 12 or 14 games. And we already know there's some really good stuff that's going to be on that collection, and the cart will be worth picking up anyway. So yeah, I sound entitled and ungrateful, I suppose. Wow, I should be on TikTok. Oh, and I should add, I absolutely suck at this game. I mean, I'm not the greatest racing game person. I've never been all that amazing at them, but I do okay. And this one, yeah, I'm very good at colliding with the other racers, or repeatedly colliding into obstacles on the side of the road. You can probably see from some of the footage here where I think quite literally 5 or 6 times on the route I'm just like smack straight into something. A second later, smack, 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 smack. Yeah, completely a skill issue. Or maybe it's the heat, because it's really hot at the moment here in the UK, and with a lack of air conditioning and everything, it's really unpleasant, and I'm pretty sure my brain has fried more than it already was. I guess you'd say I'm completely and utterly cooked, but I'd much rather be baked. Yeah, I'm hilarious. Okay, so I've waffled enough, and let's just add this to my ever-growing list where I rank every Evercade game ever. So I'll do my usual breakdowns, starting with the graphics. You know what, I think these are pretty good given the resolution of the Game Boy Color. It does a good job with the scaling and the details. I mean, the backgrounds aren't massively detailed, but they move at a good clip. The bikes are recognisable, it's all scales well, and yes, it does very much look like Super Hang On, just, for the Game Boy Color. So yeah, graphically I think it's pretty damn decent.
Sound and music.
There isn't a lot in the way of music. There is something on the title screen and it's perfectly fine, and it could really do with some in-game music. The engine sound effects and crunches are the sound effects are absolutely fine, but just this sort of game, for me, the music is a key part of it, and without it, it feels like there's something lacking.
Gameplay.
Well, I've already summed this up. You race, you go fast, you have to get a good time and not crash too much. You do this on a course, you can advance to the next one, advance to the next one, and then to the next one, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. My god, I cannot speak right now. Anyway, it's a very simple pick up and play game, and that's its greatest strength.
Overall opinion.
Hero GP is absolutely fine, and that's probably just the most generic thing I could say. It's not particularly ambitious beyond being an effective superscalar racer for the Game Boy Color. It's not rich in game modes, but what it does do, and it aims fairly low, but what it does do, it does very well.
Ranking.
So placing Hero GP on my ever-growing list where I rank every Evercade game ever, I've elected to put it above Cosmic Computer, but below the Chaos Engine 2. Placing it at 311 out of 465 that I've ranked so far. Now I really think I've said enough on this topic, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.